just go. This is so exciting for me. I am with Vicky Shaffer White, and she is a painter. I guess you work in paint.
Mm-hmm.
And this was exciting because we talked about this. I wanted you as a guest on my original show on the couch, and we just were never able to get that timing right. I mean, so here we are finally.
Yes, glad to be here.
Oh, it is exciting to have you here. It's like, when you jumped on it, when I got you, I said, we've done it. We've managed to get our schedules to work. So yay. And so one question that's been on my mind with you is, I've known all along that you've painted. When did you start painting?
Well, I've been painting since high school, but
okay.
I kind of got away from it and went back to school when I was 30.
Oh.
And I had a year at Taylor University after I graduated high school where I was an art major.
Okay, now Taylor is a very arty kind of school. They have the film school there. And,
oh, do they?
Yeah.
Well, it must have changed since I was there.
Okay.
When I went to Taylor, they had a big old house kind of off campus, and the top floor was the fine arts department.
Oh, okay.
But I've known several women or, people that have been great art teachers that graduated from Taylor. So
oh, okay.
Well, I don't know about the film school.
No, did you get like more personalized attention? I know it was a smaller school.
Well, as a freshman, you have so many general classes. I hadn't gotten to that place, but I did not go back.
Oh,
and
okay.
Then I went to IUPUI. I didn't like Taylor. It was very restrictive.
Oh, okay.
You go to chapel 3 times a week and stuff like that. Okay, so it wasn't my style. And I went to, I moved out on my own into Woodruff Place and went to IUPUI.
Oh, okay.
And worked downtown at S.S. Kresge's, the dime store.
Oh my goodness.
At the candy counter and then at the layaway desk. So it was it was fun. I had an exciting life back then.
I have to ask people, do you remember stores with candy counters? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like forever ago.
I know, that ages me, doesn't it?
Oh, but it's so much, it's that nostalgia. It's so much fun.
It was. I had a great time. And then I got married and had my son and my daughter and 74 and 80. And so when my daughter was, after she was born, I was getting stir crazy staying home. And I said, I want to go back and finish school. And my then husband had just finished his bachelor's degree in accounting. So he said, it's your turn to go to school. So
that was very nice.
Yes. So I went, signed up and got into Heron School of Art.
Okay.
And that's part of IU now. And went there, and I had a year's worth of credits, so it all transferred, luckily. So mostly all I had was studios, and that was great. Drawing, painting, all that kind of, I loved it there. I almost cried when I graduated because I didn't have any artists to talk to. I lived in Plainfield, and I was a soccer mom, and
Okay.
So it was several years before I really got back into it, but I never really stopped. I would do a little bit here and there.
Now, it just seems like it's taken off. When did it become that big?
Well, in 2011, I moved into the Stutz and got a studio.
Okay.
And I believe that's when a lot of my growth, and I was more focused. I didn't retire till like 2019, but I was a lot more focused, no children at home and all that sort of thing. I had more time.
Now, did it kind of officially go from being like the hobby to being the next career, or how do you view that now?
My whole plan was to in 2001 I moved from Plainfield back to Indianapolis, and my idea was to work enough to travel and make art.
Okay.
And that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So
it's
nice, and as I said, because I can't even think about this, how long we've known each other now. Well, it has to be at least 18 years, because we were talking about it. Her niece Jillian was my, charge.
That's right.
When I was a child caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
And so it went back at least that long.
Yes.
Because, we probably met at that point.
Uh-huh.
And so, as long as I've known, and then I forget when I first saw the picture, and she said, "Oh, but that Vicky made that."
Yeah, yeah, and she appreciates it so much.
Yeah. Well, that's always nice. So whatever it is, when you have family that appreciates what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
My family, there's no artists or art in our family up till me.
So
my
is it
mother
unusual?
still keeps wondering, why are you doing this?
Exactly. I understand very much. I understand.
So you just have to ignore them and keep on going.
Oh yeah, you've got to. At some point, I always say if it's your passion, if it is really your passion, and people say, "Well, you can't get a different passion." You might actually be able to dabble in a different hobby sometimes, but your true passion is just going to stay that.
Yeah.
So
how I made money was in computer services my whole life. So
now, see that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because my father was a computer programmer.
I was a computer operator mostly for the state of Indiana and for American Transair. They went out of business.
Okay.
And for the federal government, for
My dad too.
Department of Defense for a while.
My dad too. Uh-oh.
Wow.
Okay, and my dad worked at the finance center.
I did too. For almost 4 years, yeah.
What year?
Later. It's like in the 11, 12 or something like that.
Oh, 2000. Okay, yeah, he had retired by then, but
I was a contractor at that time.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean, he was there since like 1966 or so.
Mm-hmm. Was he a veteran?
Yes.
Because I know they like to hire the veterans first.
Yeah, but that's interesting. I mean, he was there all those years, and then he worked for the state. This is interesting because it was something to do with helping people find jobs.
Oh, I was in the Department of Revenue.
Oh, okay.
And Bureau of Motor Vehicles.
Okay. So, but it's interesting when you're, after all, and I just got through talking about how long we've known each other, and we just don't know anything, do we? We don't know anything.
Well, we just know things about Julian.
I think so. Isn't that's just interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's interesting, you brought some of your paintings to share with us today.
Yeah.
And, what I would say, if you've been watching from the beginning, you saw a montage of the larger ones, and we picked out a couple, didn't we, that we were gonna show and talk about a little bit.
This is more representative. The light is going to reflect off of it, not very well.
There we go.
How about this way? There we go.
There we go.
You can kind of see it. There's kind of a big ball in there. It's kind of, it represents dusk to me, but it's got a lot of different colors, which it's very translucent. You can see color after color, and there's a lot of texture on there.
Yeah, so. There was something, it had a Native American feel to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
because of the textures in there.
Yeah,
I like
it.
this.
And I think one of the things we were talking about is one of the reasons I really like this. This is something that resonated with me, is that it's one of those where I think everybody looking at it might glean something out of that. So that's an interesting question I'm going to put to the viewers. If there's something you gleaned from this, let us know. You'd love to know that.
I would.
Okay.
That's one thing nice about abstract, though. You can get what you want out of it. Nobody's telling you what it is.
Right, and that's always fun. And
And another phase of my life. This is actually like a sunflower bush, and it was painted in plein air, which means fresh air, on site at Garfield Park. I did a lot of that in the early 2000s. And I'm not doing it much now, but even with my plein air, I kind of abstract it a little bit. So.
With these, do you do them freehand, or do you kind of sketch it in first?
This one is probably freehand. Yeah. Although I do some layers. I don't really use pencils much when I paint. But, I just paint.
I just know some of it.
Well, it depends on the like if it's a figure or something, I will sketch it because it's more.
Now, do you have times where there's a scene you'd like to do and you take like a picture and then refer to the picture instead of continually going back?
when, especially, well, my flower pictures mostly, they're almost all from photographs.
Okay.
My abstracts are, just
Oh,
thoughts.
well, yeah.
I'll just throw some paint on something, and then after a while, I might even set it there for a month and till it starts talking to me. And
Oh, I understand. That happens to me as a writer.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of interesting that here totally different art forms, and that happens to me as a writer. I'll go back to something, an outline I'd done, or even a couple paragraphs I'd started, and it'll say something completely different to me a month later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all our creative works speak to us, and that's something. So.
And that's why a lot of times there's a lot of layers, because one day, that one. This was done during the COVID, and so it's called Disconnected, and it's kind of like a tree that's not quite attached to a trunk, in my opinion, but it could be whatever you want it to be. So it's very abstract.
Well, I mean, as you said, abstract can be whatever anybody wants it to be.
But that's the way I felt during COVID.
Disconnected, closed off. That was,
And this went through many phases to get. There was a tree there that was textured, and I call this a merge. And I can't remember. I think it might be toward the end, of course, the COVID epidemic. So I did a lot of small ones.
Yeah, and this one, I mean, for me, that reminds me of like water. I feel like water or something like that.
Yeah, I
have
a lot of blue paintings, which I don't have with me today. But,
that's fine. So obviously I said what we're going to do, I will have a website in the description. And do you have most of your work like posted on the website, or if?
Oh, maybe about half of it.
Okay.
I'm not very good at keeping my website. I do have a good Facebook page and a good Instagram page.
And you said those links are on the website though, so.
Yeah, and they're on there too.
Okay, well.
So,
it's. So we can put the website and you can find everything. What was I say now? Do you do art shows at galleries or anything?
I have a show coming up this first Friday. It's at Lost Dog Gallery.
Okay, and that's where?
Which is on East New York Street, close to Circle City Industrial Center, downtown. Well, it's just.
And this for people in Indianapolis.
Yeah, the art district, Mass Avenue Art District over there. And then you got a little kind of a developing space. And then over here we have CCIC, which has probably 60 or 80 artists in there. Okay. But this is a little building, and it has a gallery in it, and I'm showing with one other artist, Andrew Mosier, and it's the first time we've shown together, and it's all abstract. Okay. And hopefully we're doing a video of that. The gallery owner said she wants to do a video.
Okay, well that's pretty cool. And you said since the other artist is abstract, are you going to do one of those things where the two of you get together and create the painting on site?
I hadn't thought of it, but his is a lot more geometric and hard edge, and mine's kind of softer edges. Okay. So he's like 30. So I love the idea that we're, have different circles of friends, different...
You bring in different clientele to
different
the show.
Points of view, kind of, but yeah, we get along great, so it's kind of fun.
Well, the artist community in general, I find that if anything, you always have that in common, your creative art. Well, I mean, when I get together with other authors or other filmmakers, and doesn't matter.
Oh, I love being around the other artists. In fact, a lot of times I don't even talk to other people. Not that I don't like them, I just can't think of anything to say.
Right.
A lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, with authors, we always start, written anything new lately, And so, absolutely. And this is the most I've seen of, the most pictures I've seen of yours. I knew you did the flowers, and I like the abstracts a lot. And I think that's just a great story about how you got into it too. I do enjoy that, because finding out what motivates anybody.
Well, and I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm thinking I can do this forever. Even
Right.
if you get, really old and cranky, you can still paint,
Right.
So something you can always do.
Yeah.
Forever.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
it was really great having you here, and I love seeing you again. And
Yeah.
after all,
It is.
it's been a long time. And like I said, I will have all the information in.
That's my phone.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Actually, that sounds like time's up.
Oh.
It came right at the right time. But
Oh.
but I will have the website, and if they want to order, they can order online from you and
Okay.
pick up. Is that how they do that?
Yeah. From
Okay.
my website, I do have a way, or they can just, email me or call me or text me or whatever they want. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So,
great.
like I said, it's been great having you here. I'll see you next time, wherever.
All right. Thank you.